the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Function, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got so much to offer every time I tell you something. I'm about to drop it, you can never stop it. Malfunction, sit your down, bouncing out the flushing. Check extra P by the boom from a Russian. I remember when I used to rhyme for next to nothing. I got
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition, a silent edition of the Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. I'm broadcasting once again here in the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, Texas. Everybody wants to know what it is. Of course, I am Freeman Jackson Jr. I'm the face of the franchise. I'm the CEO and founder of Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. Of course, I've been doing this since 2009, still going strong in the year 2023. Once again, this is our Wednesday night edition. I'm very excited. Very honored to be back with y'all one more time. Wherever you may be watching us at, whether you're at home, your office, wherever you may be watching us at, we thank y'all once again for taking time out of y'all productive schedule to hang with us tonight. And we talk about some very positive stuff, some affirmation stuff. Here on the show, I love to have very interesting, extraordinary individuals who are doing extraordinary things, who decide to make up in their mind to make a life for themselves, who decide to get up and create a life for themselves, and don't make excuses for where they at, but knowing they can always do more. Like last night, the guest said he haven't even scratched the surface yet, and we have never scratched the surface yet. We're still at the work in the making, and once again, I'm very excited. Once again, of course, I have a very extraordinary guest here on the show. She has a very, very impressive resume. She's the one of all trades. She got her hands in everything, and I want her to go ahead and introduce herself to the audience. I want to welcome my guest, there. Thank you for tuning in and taking time to the schedule to be here on the podcast. So, how everything be going with you? I hope you had a very great, extraordinary day. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You froze. It's like you frozen in your hand.
Okay, I didn't know if you could hear me or not. Hey, how everybody doing tonight? Can you see me?
I can. It's frozen. I can hear your voice, but it's like you frozen.
No. Let me see
Just,
what's going on with this
yeah, I can.
thing.
Yeah, I can hear you. Matter of fact, you probably could just go ahead, log back out, log back in, and see what it does. Because like I said, you just froze up. But I hear your voice.
Okay.
So just do that and see what it does, and just try that. Okay, there you go. You're not frozen no more. Okay, go ahead. There you go. Appreciate you taking time out of your productive schedule to be here on tonight's show. So you're a woman of all trades. You got a lot of stuff going. And just looking at your impressive resume, you have a very productive lifestyle. So you don't have no room for mediocrity. You don't have no time to be wasting time. You're constantly going, and I respect that a lot. So go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast.
Well, hello, audience. Hello, everyone. First, giving honor to God. Um, I'm glad to be here. I've been actually through a lot of networking and just talking to different people, going through different parts of roles and different films. And I ran across you, and I knew this was what I needed to be on this podcast. I could tell by all your podcasts that it was very powerful, and like you had a lot of listeners, and everyone was engaged because of your topics and the people you brought home. But me as an actress, a model, influencer, and just really taking up a lot of trades and crafts, uh, host of different events and parties, just really trying to build my brain and get myself out there more. But I've taken on a few roles actually already.
And I appreciate you for doing that. And don't say the word try. Say you are. Because when we say
I'm
try
striving.
like
Oh, I am working on that word. I'm striving.
right. I mean, we all guilty of that word try. When we say try, when we say try, it's like we're not believing in what we're doing. But when you say I'm doing this and I'm doing that, you actually believe in what you're doing. And like I said, just looking at your resume, you have a very impressive resume at a young age. Have you ever always this purpose driven in your life? Have you always had that mindset, being ambitious? Where did it come from? Where did it resonate from?
I knew that I was born a star, that I knew I had a gift, a talent, a calling per se, but I didn't know exactly what it was. And I've been modeling for 10 years now. I've been with John Casablanca, Icon Studio in Atlanta, and NPC actually been calling me, and John Casablanca called me back actually 2 days ago, and I've been in several fashion shows. But then I was like, that's not where I wanted to stop at. I didn't want to just be a model. I
Hmm.
wanted to be an actress as well because I can play any part, any character, any role, and I can jump into character.
And I noticed that a lot of individuals are getting to the acting thing. We know we have a lot of independent movies. Really, just back in the day, we used to have the Golden Ball Bar major movie productions. Now we're in an era where everybody's so independent now, where it's easy with that transition now of becoming an actor or actress and things of that nature. So
Mm.
you said you mentioned the mountain part, but you knew there was more to that. Um, what could just kept you like, you know what? I know you mentioned this is a it, but what just really say, you know what? Let me try something else. When you just came into that fruition of saying, you know what? Let me just try something else and see where this goes.
Honestly, I woke up one day and I literally was like, you know what? I know for sure this is my calling. This is what I want to do because I knew I would play different voices and do different reels and monologues just, for fun. And I was like, I'm actually pretty good at this. Whether it was either like a comedy or it was just something real, or I've even done spoken word with my poetry because I love poetry. But I knew that I could act. I had that personality, that persona, that mentality, and I'm sedulous and resilient. So I know that any atmosphere you put me in, I can just pretty much go for the gusto.
Okay.
So I knew that this is what I really wanted to do, and I'm pursuing it more than anything. I've always been a hard worker. I've been
Hmm.
working since I was 13 years old. So I knew when I started pursuing my acting, I really went hard for it. I networked day and night, not getting much sleep at all. And I said I would usually work hard, but this hard, I knew that this was something I wanted to do. Not getting any sleep. So yeah, I know this is what I want to do, and this is my calling.
Right. And you always want to be at the best at what you do, and you always want to put in 1000% in all that you do. And you don't want to have step with it all, but really put in the work. You mentioned that you was not getting any sleep. So this is something that you're very excited about. That hey, I want to take it, I want to make this happen. I want to make this thing turn turn from an idea into a reality. So when you got started in being an actress, how did that? Who do you connect with first? What door opened up for you to be able to embrace that opportunity of being on the big screen?
Well, how did I get started? Mainly networking and advertising. I met with a lot, several people, and I actually met a lot of directors that have been coaching me. And it was so funny because when I wouldn't say funny, but it was actually a blessing because I had a director and producer. I had Masika McCormick, Corey Espy. I have some really great directors and producers taking their time out to coach me because they're like, I was there before and I know how it is. So they taught me the ropes of acting and ways to practice before my films, and they made it more comfortable because sometimes when you first start acting, it's not a comfortable thing. It's like you're nervous. You're about to be, in a film. You're about to have a big, whether it be a small role or a big role, but you're there to, play your part. And so
Right.
they actually got me comfortable, and it's just I can step into any, whether I get the part or not, I can step into any casting call or any audition.
And when you're doing these roles, you're already auditioning for another role because you never know what producer, what filmmaker is actually watching you. And individuals don't think like that because even though you may got the part, you're still auditioning for another role, if that makes sense. Because they see your work on, they see you doing, if they see you doing the work and it's up to professionals, then they want to come knock it. They gonna come knocking on your door comes to, hey, I watched you here and I seen you here. I think out this role that I have for you. I know you be perfect for this role. And I know that you be already ready because you've been studying and they have the mentors. And you always, what they say, when you ready, you ain't gotta get ready, but you already ready.
Mhm.
So it's constantly not. You don't want to get complacent, but always maintain like maintenance. We all, you gotta have maintenance for our car, maintenance for everything. So we gotta keep that maintenance going within our gifts and our crafts. That makes sense, and not to get lazy, not to get complacent, not be mediocre with it, not to look for shortcuts, but always want to put in 1,000% in what you do. So what roles would you consider playing, and what roles would you want to play in a movie? Because we know roles either they gonna make your career or they gonna break your career. So, which
Gotcha.
roles will you take, and which roles you won't take that would jeopardize your career?
Well, like I would tell any director or producer when they first ask me, about any film and any role, I I have a lot of respect for myself and I'm a firm believer in God, so I won't take any complete nude roles. So as far as any, I'll do like a sex scene or something like that, but I won't take any complete nudity
Hmm.
or any possessed roles. But as far as any other, I'll take any other role because, like I said, I can jump into any character. It's just those type of roles I won't do to
Right,
my character.
right, and it makes sense on that because I know you being a woman, I know you will have propositions probably come everywhere. I had a guest on here before. She was propositioned by men and women to to compromise in order to get into things. So how do you make what advice would you give to anyone, especially a woman, to maintain her integrity? Because you have guys that will try to proposition you for sex just to get a role. But it's all about how do you maintain the integrity, and what advice would you give someone who has a desire to get into movies to maintain that integrity? Because we know it's out there. That's not sugarcoated. That's just the elephant in the room. Because we know it's out there, and we know predators are out there every day, and we know individuals fall to that prey, to get ahead of the
Exactly.
game.
Listen, it's going to be producers, directors, PAs. They're gonna come actors. They're gonna come at you left and right. I've seen it firsthand, and it can get ridiculous and very uncomfortable. But you just have to maintain your character. Basically, just if you believe your standards, if you believe in not going for that particular role, just stay that way. You're gonna make a lot of people mad. Most definitely. They're probably not going to work with you, and you're going to have some that will be willing to still work with you, but they might have a short attitude or they might just deal with you at work. It just all depends. But if that's how you are, you have to stick to your standards. Don't lower your standards. Don't sit there and take a part just to get, don't sit there and belittle yourself. I'll say that. And just to get a part, because there's other opportunities out here, much more. And me being new to the game, I've learned that already. And it's sad, but it's the truth. I've already learned that. And I literally I just go into a part, and whether you accept me or not, I guess what? I've had other opportunities because you can sit there and get 99 no's and then get that one yes, and that's what I've always lived by. So I kept going and kept going. And you keep striving, whether they sit there and they approach you in an inappropriate way or not. You just keep striving for what you believe
Right. And you got to believe in that because they would try to say, if you don't do this, I could ruin your name. And don't fall for that fear tactic. You got some who do that fear tactic will say, if you don't do this, I could ruin your name and all this other stuff. You'll never get a job. And if you fall for that
in.
scenario, you are already defeated. So always, like you said, maintain that integrity. Before going any further, we're gonna take a quick video break, and after that video break, we'll jump right back into our Q&A conversation, ladies and gentlemen.
My dreams come alive when I look in your eyes. Set my heart off through the day, feelings that never go away. The bond we have, I know we can lose. Next time when you're lonely, I just wanna see you tonight. We'll trace the skies of love. Skies of love.
Man, don't be falling asleep, man. You know you fall asleep in there in the job, bro.
I'm tired, man. It's been a long day, man.
Man, don't fall asleep. Look. Don't fall asleep, man. Whatever you do, don't fall asleep, man. All right. Right back.
This is your anthem. This is your anthem. Oh, does she see the dollar signs? Soaking these words that don't harmonize. Puppet it from a 9 to 5. I can see that the hustler's still alive. This is your anthem, anthem.
This is your anthem. Whoa. You should see that all the signs are soaking these words that don't harmonize. Pop it up from my 9 to 5. I can see that the hustle is still alive.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Back here on Walking His Ways Impact Voice Podcast. I'm waiting for my kids to time back in with this connection. But man, like I said, this is already November the 8th, man. This is 11th month, 2023. You have to ask yourself, man, where I'm at, where I'm going, where I'm headed, and really make this life happen for yourself. Not to get to the point where you want to be complacent, not to get complacent, but most importantly, you want to start here, change our world, change the way we think, how we do things, how we act towards things, you know, because we only got one life to live, ladies and gentlemen. We got to make the best out of this life. You get what I'm saying? Tomorrow's not promised, you know, let alone 5 seconds. But we have to ask ourselves, is I'm ready? Is it prepared? If I've done everything that I set out to do? Because we will always put off we always put off tomorrow what we can do today. And that's what's important. Don't put off tomorrow what you could do today. Because at the end of the day, you're like, I get a thing accomplished what I want to get accomplished. Did I do what I said I was going to do? And we never did. You know, I had a conversation a while back. I had a conversation. And we talked about this on the show last night. The wealthiest place is the graveyard. Everybody went to that graveyard, not utilizing their gifts, their talents, out of fear, complexity, what everybody thought about them, and never utilized their gifts and their talents. And then it happened. So we gotta ask ourselves, is I going to utilize my gift? If I'm going to utilize my talent? If I'm going to make the best life for me? And that's what you have to ask yourself. You're going to have to make this life work for you. Not for anybody else. But you're going to have to make this life work for you. If you don't get mad at the next individual who made up in their mind to make things happen for themselves or make the things that they want to do for themselves. Like it's on you, ladies and gentlemen. It's on you to make the changes. It's on to you to make the necessary steps. It's up to you. Not nobody else, not mama, not daddy, not sister, not brother, not friend, not your place of employment. None of that stuff. It falls on you. Well, when I get time back in, I'm going to do another video. And after that, we're going to finish up tonight's show. So, man, let's see you having fun, everybody. Let me see. Jump into one more right quick.
You said you love me. Now I know what love is. Ain't nobody stop your love. 'Cause you know me. All my hopes, all my fears. Still you chose me. I'm in love. Now I don't know what you've been told, but all I know is that his love is worth more than gold. See, it took a while for me to understand, but a love like this isn't high demand. You know my flaws, but yet you still love me. Know what love is. Ain't nobody stop your love. You know me. All my hopes and all my fears. Still you chose me. I'm in love. And turn your back on him and still on your side. Always keep it real with you and that's no my brother. Cousin is word. It teaches us we gotta love each other. Really absurd. If we can't look beyond each other's colors, we should prefer just show love for one another. We need to come together. Now I know what love is. Nobody stop your love. Stop your love. Share me all my hope and all my fears. Chose me. I'm in love. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm in love. So in love. I'm in love. So in love with you, with you, with you, with you, with you. I'm in love with you, with you, with you, with you, with you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back here on Walking His Ways Impact Voice Podcast. Man, this is our Wednesday night edition. Hope everybody's having a great night, prosperous night, good night, of course. And I want to thank my guests for being with me tonight. Like I said, very individual, very extraordinary individual who doing extraordinary things, of course. And like I said, I mentioned earlier, looking at your resume, you have a lot of things going on. So take us into your schedule. What time do you start your day? Because we know people that's active, they have a set time when they start their day. So what time do you start your day?
Listen, I'm a early bird. I'm most definitely an early bird. So 5, 6 o'clock, I'm already on it. I'm hitting the books running.
Because we know is what they say. It's only 24 hours within a day. But you like that time. I know majority of the time, yeah, we sleep. But majority of that time when you're not sleeping, you gotta be productive, you gotta be active. Getting things done, getting things accomplished. Even the legends wake up early in the morning to get things done. Time management. And I like to get up early too. I don't like sleeping in late. Sleeping in late, like you miss out on things. Unless you like real tired or maybe you don't know what, and that's a different story. But just be laying around. Nah, you can't get nothing done like that. You have to get up and going, get that blood flowing in order to get the thing accomplished. So what's going on next with you? Movies, you do a lot of other stuff. So what's next on your schedule? What's next on your agenda?
Well,
I know you're ready this year almost over with.
right. Well, I'll actually be in Texas this weekend for my birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, 11/11. Miss Sheikah and Miss Tika, they're having the Bold and Beautiful fashion show, and I am definitely ready for that and super excited for the Bold and Beautiful reality series. And then we're also having a fashion show on my birthday. So I'm super excited. It'll be my first time in Texas. So that's what's
Like,
next.
and that's what's up. So you're working for your birthdays. The average person, they won't do nothing on their birthday, but you're working on your birthday. So that's letting you know that getting ahead means very a lot to you, and I respect that.
Most definitely. They
So,
presented the opportunity. I'm sorry.
go ahead, Vic. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they presented that opportunity to me and I took it because it was, when you're younger, you're like, oh no, I want to party. It's my birthday. But I think of it like this as I've gotten older, especially with my acting. Like I told you, this is most definitely my passion. So when they presented me with the opportunity and I was like, hey, first of all, it's a vacation. Second of all, it's somewhere I haven't been before. And third of all, it's actually pursuing my craft, my career. So that's killing 3 birds in one stone. So it's like getting everything that I want all in one. So I was like, yeah, definitely. I'll work. It's no problem. It'll
Yeah,
probably go ahead, baby.
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, elaborate more on what you said earlier about it presenting more opportunities for me. I've actually had more producers and directors say, "Hey, while you're here, hit me up."
There you go. Because you never know who you come in contact with. And like I
Exactly.
said, why put off tomorrow what you can do today? And I respect that to the highest because because all you're doing is really just building up your resume. That's all
Right.
you're really doing, putting aside the temporary fun in order to gain a lifetime of success. And I respect that. And then you want to be around people who's goal oriented, business minded, go getters, all about their time, not wasting their time. You know what I'm saying? It's time out for all that. If they're serious about it. But at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? I'm making the best out of my life. I want to succeed in my life. And I'm not gonna hold myself up. Because at the end of the day, we hold our own self up from greatness. We hold our own self up from success. You just have to go out there and make stuff happen. Get self out the way and just really be about your business.
Yeah.
So while you're here in coming to Texas, you be in Dallas, right? Dallas?
Dallas, Texas.
Awesome. So while you're in the midst of Dallas, so most likely to be a business trip for you, networking, sightseeing in the CDC. Just here really networking, basically in so many
Mhm.
words, but also building up your resume, network with different individuals. Hey, that's a great thing. I respect that. I respect your mindset on that.
Right. And just to add in, I actually, not was recently casted for in Unforgiven. So I will actually get to meet him because he plays a part in the Bold and Beautiful series. He works with those ladies.
Yeah, that's what's up right there. So I know you're excited about that
Most
this week.
definitely.
So what's gonna be up for the next year? We know we're about to roll in 2024. So what are you looking for? What are you expecting for the upcoming year?
Much, much better than I am now, and I'll be actually I won't be perfect because no one's perfect, but I'll be more perfected in my craft, and I'll be much further in where I'm trying to go, and my name will be really out there how I want it to be. It's not as far as getting the fame, it's just basically wanting to be a part of a project, being a part of the film industry, and, you know, getting your name. My thing, a lot of people say they want to get their name out there, and it's for the wrong reasons. It's all for that fame, all to get the glory. I'm not in it for that. I'm in it because I'm trying to, step into something and build character with it. Be like, hey, I want to watch this film because this person is in it, and because they have a good character, they have a good mentality, their persona. I love this person in a whole, not just as an actress, but just in a whole. And I want to
Mhm.
set that out for everyone, not just, like someone else just going into it just to get those awards and the money and the fame.
Right. Yeah, come play this clip right quick. And I love playing this clip on the show. And this is what Jay-Z said. And this is something that we can apply to our lives. And I'm just gonna play this clip.
Rakim, man, constant elevation causes expansion. I live my life by that right now. Constant elevation causes expansion. So when you tight and you say I only do this, you constrict yourself. So nothing can come in. This is what you do. This is what I eat. No matter how much money I get, I'm staying here. Yeah. Well, that life is about constant elevation causes expansion. I write my rhymes while cooler the mansion. And then he gave you the sweetness. He gave you the jewel of all jewels.
Constant elevation leads to expansion. If you ain't on that mindset, you need to get the hell out. Because constant elevation leads to expansion. If you ain't about expanding, I'm sorry for you. You gotta be on that level now, man. I'm about expanding. Forget the laziness, forget the naysayers and the mediocre and all the other stuff. Constant elevation lead
Mhm.
to expansion. And I know you all about expansion, right? You got constant
Exactly.
elevate to expansion. When I think about that clip, eyes have not seen, no ear, no into the heart of man. What God prepared for those who love Him. I just think about that's the deep of the deep. When I think about that, we constantly pulling back layers. We're pulling back of that old man. You're pulling back that old woman. You know what I'm saying? And you're pouring into this new individual because we have not mastered everything yet. I know that. But the goal is to utilize everything here on earth that God gave us that we could be a blessing to others. I remember years ago, it was a young entrepreneur that said, you should always want to die empty. In other words, utilize everything while you're alive. So when you transition from this life to the next, you didn't take anything with you because you utilized everything while we was alive, while we had breath in our bodies. You know what I'm saying? So constant elevation lead to expansion. If you don't own that mindset, I don't know what you gonna do with your life. Yeah, no. So I know about a great. I know we're pressing for time tonight, but do you have any words of advice, any words of wisdom for the audience that's listening here tonight here on Walking This Ways Impact Voice Podcast?
Well, my words of wisdom and advice is speaking from a personal experience from someone that was just in the modeling industry, just a normal human being working a 9 to 5 and knew I wanted more for my life. I'm in a state where no it's not a lot of people that wants to they're content with where they are. And I've
Right.
always been the person to travel and go somewhere. And I've always been the one to be successful in life, whether it be with jobs, schooling, whatever I put my mind into.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm telling you, anyone can do it if you put your mind to it. It's not going to be easy. No, whoever said it is, like whatever you see on TV, whatever you see, whatever you hear, is not the truth. It's not going to be easy. Nothing in life is. It wouldn't be life. But just keep striving. If you really want it, go for it. Because nothing isn't too hard. And it's not where you can't touch it. It's not untouchable. Reach for your dreams and your goals. Go for it. No matter what.
Hey, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you have to do. Just go for it. What you waiting on? It's all about taking risks, right?
Exactly.
Even Peter got off the boat and walked on water. And you have to decide once you make up in your mind, you gotta realize you're your own unique individual. Nobody does not have your thumb, nobody does not have your fingerprints but you. If they go right now and put up your fingerprint, you don't want to show up. So you have to tell yourself, hey man, I'm wise, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm beautiful, I'm handsome, I'm loved, I'm wealthy, I'm a genius, I'm knowing, I'm well knowing. See the thing you gotta speak of yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta tell yourself, I believe in you. We're gonna succeed, we're gonna conquer, we're gonna do all this stuff. We're gonna have fun. We're not gonna be complacent. I'm gonna challenge you. And you gotta tell yourself your things. Tell yourself these things, ladies and gentlemen. And that's pretty much that really sums it up. So I want my guests, go ahead, plug in your social media outlets. How can they follow you? Interact with you? Go right ahead.
Gotcha. My IG is ke.scorpion. So follow me on my IG. Most definitely need to build that up. My Facebook is Kendra Johnson. So please follow me. And if anyone wants to contact me, reach out. Go into my direct messenger. I'm easy to talk to. If you have any questions or concerns, I don't mind supporting others as well.
And that's what's up right there. So we about to get lead this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Man, y'all have a great night. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your Wednesday. Just relax. Work on your goals. Put out your daily planner, whatever you got to do. Let's start here. It starts here first, ladies and gentlemen. We got to change this thing. Don't change this. Nothing else don't even matter. So, man, y'all have a great night. Be back here Saturday here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast. Man, to them, man, y'all be blessed. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Good night.